To make a woman miss you, even if she's not initially interested, you must understand one critical truth. Women don't long for men who are always chasing them. The more accessible you make yourself, the less likely she'll value your presence. While it may feel unfair, this is simply how attraction works. If you're constantly striving for her attention, she'll never truly appreciate what you bring. Women miss the men they fear losing, not the ones they've already secured. Stop being the one who always reaches out first, rearranging your life to accommodate her needs or waiting for her like a loyal pet. Predictability kills desire, and you don't want to be the guy who's always there. The reality is, people rarely desire what's always in front of them. Women are wired to crave what seems out of reach or slipping away. If you're not creating that sense of scarcity, she'll never have a reason to miss you. But here's the twist. Pulling away isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about shifting your behavior and showing her that your world doesn't revolve around her. This isn't arrogance. It's self-respect and positioning yourself as someone who is truly worth missing. Even if she's not interested now, you don't need her to be. In fact, the less engaged she seems, the more potential you have to make her think about you. When you master the art of detachment and value building, you'll spark her curiosity. That curiosity can quickly transform into longing when done right. The key is to create space, stir intrigue, and let her experience the weight of your absence. When a woman starts to miss you, it won't be because you pushed for it. It will happen naturally, because she simply can't help herself. Number 1, stop chasing her and do it now. One of the biggest mistakes men make is pursuing a woman who shows little to no interest. Chasing not only pushes her away, but also reinforces the idea that you're too available, too predictable, and far too easy to figure out. Women aren't drawn to men who become her safety net. They're attracted to those who make her wonder, does he even want me? When you chase, you strip away all the mystery and challenge. She doesn't have to think about you because you've already made your feelings clear. Worse yet, chasing turns the power dynamic in her favor. She knows you're always available, so why would she miss you? The key is to stop chasing right now. This means no more double texting, unnecessary calls, or planning your schedule around her. If she wants to see you, let her make the first move. When she suddenly feels the absence of your attention, doubts may start creeping in. She might even wonder if she underestimated your worth. Stopping the chase isn't about ignoring her completely, it's about shifting the dynamic. Your actions will show her that you're not the type of man who begs for love. Women respect men who respect themselves. For instance, let's say you've been texting her every morning, but she only responds out of politeness and shows no enthusiasm. One day, you simply stop. No more good morning texts, no more follow-ups, and if she leaves your messages on read, you remain silent. At first, she might feel relieved, but as days pass, she'll start wondering why you stopped. Did she push you away? Is there someone else? That's when the shift happens. By stopping your pursuit, you force her to confront the possibility of losing your attention. If she values it even a little, she'll start to miss it. Now you've gone from someone she could take for granted to someone she's curious about. The power dynamic completely changes. By stepping back, you're not just making her miss you. You're showing her that you're a man worth missing. And that makes all the difference. Number 2, one of the most impactful moves a man can make is to disappear without warning. Women are naturally curious, and when you vanish unexpectedly, it creates a mental void that she can't ignore. She'll start wondering why you disappeared, what you're up to, and, most importantly, if it had something to do with her. This uncertainty is what triggers her to miss you. Disappearing doesn't mean ghosting her forever or being rude. It's about stepping back intentionally, allowing her to feel your absence. Too many men stay available, hoping to grab her attention. But the truth is, you can't make her miss you if you're always around. By vanishing without an explanation, you create an air of mystery that forces her to think about you. Women are frustrated by unanswered questions, especially when they involve their influence on someone. She'll start asking herself, why did he stop calling? Did I say something wrong? Did he lose interest? This mental energy she spends wondering about you is the first step in making her miss you. The beauty of this approach is that it shifts the power back to you. By disappearing, you're no longer the one chasing. Now she has to seek closure, clarity, or perhaps just your presence again. For instance, if you've been casually talking with her for a while and the conversation has been lackluster, instead of forcing more engagement, simply stop. Don't text, call, or check in. After a few days, she'll notice your absence and start wondering what happened. Maybe she even checks your social media to see if you're up to something new. The longer she doesn't hear from you, the more she'll feel the gap you left behind. This strategy works because it changes her perception of you. She thought she had you figured out, but now you're an enigma, and that mystery makes you stand out from all the men who cling and over-communicate. It's not about playing games or manipulating her. It's about creating space for her to realize what she's missing. When done correctly, disappearing without an explanation is one of the most powerful ways to leave a lasting impression. Number 3, if you want a woman to miss you badly, one of the best things you can do is stop giving her all of your attention. Here's the truth most men don't want to admit. Women are naturally drawn to competition. When they see that other women are vying for your attention, your value increases in their eyes. This isn't about pretending to be interested in other women or playing games. It's about showing that your attention is a limited, invaluable resource. When you make her compete for your attention, you send a clear message that she's not the only woman in your world. This isn't about being disrespectful or leading her on. It's about living a life that doesn't revolve around her. If you're constantly available, always texting her first, making plans, and following her every move, you're making it too easy for her. There's no challenge in that. But when you pull back a little and let her wonder whether she'll hear from you or not, she's forced to invest more effort. The unpredictability of your actions keeps her engaged and coming back. This isn't meant to hurt her or manipulate her feelings. It's about showing her that your attention must be earned, not freely given. By showing that you have other priorities, whether that means other women or simply a full, rich life outside of her, you're forcing her to compete for your time. And when she's made to compete, she becomes emotionally invested in keeping your attention. This approach also helps you position yourself as the type of man who values his time and doesn't settle for just anyone. When a woman has to work for your attention, you're not just making her miss you, you're building respect and attraction. She'll see you as someone worth pursuing, so stop chasing her. Let her come to you. When she does, she'll give you her full attention because she knows it's something she has to earn. This isn't manipulation. It's about positioning yourself as the kind of man who is wanted by more than just her. When she sees that, she'll be the one doing the chasing. Number 4, one of the biggest turnoffs for women is when a man loses himself in a relationship. If you stop focusing on your own life and start shaping everything around her, you're signaling that she's your everything. The cold truth is, she's not looking for someone who's desperate for her attention. Women are attracted to men who have their own passions, goals, and ambitions. A man who is focused on his own life becomes a challenge, not someone who's available at the drop of a hat. When you prioritize your own life, whether it's your career, hobbies, or personal growth, you build a sense of self-worth that isn't dependent on her validation. This is incredibly attractive to women because it shows you have your own path and that you won't just drop everything to make her the center of your world. It also portrays you as someone self-sufficient who isn't needy or clingy. Living your life ruthlessly means you're not waiting around for her to text back or make plans with you. You're actively pursuing your goals, hanging out with friends, and enjoying your passions. You're a man with a full life, and this makes her wonder whether she fits into it. The key here is balance. You're not ignoring her, but you're also not rearranging your schedule to accommodate her. By focusing on yourself, you're showing that you're not available all the time, and that creates a sense of mystery. When she sees you living a fulfilling life without her, it makes her want to be a part of it. The more she realizes she's just one piece of your life, not the whole thing, the more she'll miss the time and attention she once received. By ruthlessly focusing on your own life, you position yourself as someone independent, emotionally stable, and attractive. Women don't miss men who put them on a pedestal. They miss the ones who have their own pedestal to stand on. When you stand confidently in your own life, she'll start to feel the weight of your absence. Number 5. One simple but effective way to make a woman miss you is to stop responding to her immediately. It may sound easy, but many men make the mistake of always rushing to reply, staying glued to their phones, and constantly engaging. The truth is, when you're always available, you become predictable, and predictability kills attraction. By taking your time to respond, you're not playing games or manipulating her. You're simply demonstrating that you have your own life. You're not sitting around waiting for her to message you, and you're definitely not chasing her attention. The more time you delay in replying, the more she starts to wonder, what are you doing? Who are you with? Why hasn't she heard from you? This uncertainty creates space in her mind, and she will begin to fill it with thoughts about you. The key is balance. You're not ignoring her completely, but you're also not jumping into conversation every time she texts you. Take a few hours or even a day to respond. This will make her realize that your attention isn't something she can have at her convenience, and the scarcity of it will make her crave it more. When you're always available, she knows when to expect a reply. It's predictable, but by making her wait, you're turning the tables. Now she's the one wondering, did he get busy? Is he talking to someone else? Why hasn't he responded yet? This uncertainty plants the idea that she's not the center of your world, and that's incredibly attractive. Delaying your response isn't about playing hard to get. It's about setting a standard for how you value your time. When you stop dropping everything to respond immediately, you're showing her that you're not desperate for her attention. You have other things going on, and if she wants to be part of your life, she'll need to put in more effort. So stop rushing to reply and let her feel the weight of your silence. The more you do this, the more she'll begin to crave the conversations she once took for granted. That's when the magic happens, when she misses you and you're no longer the one chasing. Number 6. One of the most attractive qualities a man can have is emotional control. Women don't want to see a man who is constantly reacting to everything she says or does. They prefer a man who is calm, collected, and doesn't let his emotions dictate his actions. When you maintain emotional control, you demonstrate that you're not needy or emotionally dependent on her. Instead, you show maturity and stability in how you handle situations. Too many men get caught up in their feelings when things don't go as expected. They might text too much, get upset when she seems distant, or act clingy when she pulls back. This kind of behavior is a huge turnoff. Women are attracted to men who can remain composed no matter the circumstances. Emotional stability signals strength, and by keeping your emotions in check, you show her that you're unaffected by her actions, whether she's hot or cold. When she sees that you don't immediately react to every text or overreact to every situation, she'll start to feel the absence of your presence. The more composed and secure you are in yourself, the more she'll wonder why she's not getting the same emotional response from you as she might from other men. This approach also teaches her to value your attention. When you're calm and don't get emotionally worked up over her actions, she'll see that your time and energy are precious. You're not just giving her everything because she showed some interest. Emotional stability becomes a form of strength that makes you more attractive. By staying grounded, you avoid looking desperate or vulnerable. No one wants to be with someone who is emotionally reactive. Instead, they're drawn to someone who can stay strong and unaffected. This signals that you are the prize, not her. When she senses this, she'll begin to miss the emotional stability you bring to the relationship. Next time you feel the urge to react to her behavior, remember to keep your emotions in check. By doing so, you create a magnetic force that pulls her toward you. When she feels your absence, that's when she'll miss you. Number 7. One of the most powerful ways to make a woman miss you is to maintain an air of mystery. The more she can't figure you out, the more she will be drawn to you. Women are naturally attracted to excitement, and if she feels like she has you all figured out, the attraction starts to fade. However, when she's uncertain, left with questions and curiosity about you, that's when she begins to obsess over you. Being mysterious doesn't mean you have to hide everything or lie about who you are. It simply means not revealing all your cards at once. Keep some aspects of your life private, like your plans, passions, or even your feelings. This creates a sense of wonder and makes her want to know more. The key is unpredictability. Don't always be available. Sometimes be busy or unreachable. Let her wonder where you are, what you're doing, and why she hasn't heard from you. This doesn't mean ghosting her, but it does mean you're not immediately at her disposal. By making her work a little harder for your time, you make her feel the gap when you're not around. Being mysterious also involves not oversharing during conversations. When she asks about something personal, give a response, but don't dive too deep. Leave things open-ended and let her ask more questions. The more she tries to figure you out, the more her mind will keep returning to you. The more she wonders about the parts of you that remain unknown, the more she will miss your presence. The idea is simple. Don't reveal all your secrets. Keep her guessing, keep her coming back for more, and keep her engaged. Mystery sparks desire, and the more she desires to know you, the more she will miss the moments when you're not around. When you're always an enigma, she'll be far more invested in discovering who you truly are. As she does, she'll start craving your attention more than ever. Number 8. One of the most effective ways to make a woman miss you is by being unpredictable. When she can't predict what you'll do next, how you'll act, or when you'll reach out, it keeps her on her toes. Predictability is boring. If she knows exactly what to expect from you, she'll eventually lose interest. But if you add some unpredictability into your behavior, you'll keep her emotionally invested and wondering what's next. Being unpredictable doesn't mean you have to play games or be intentionally confusing. It's about mixing things up and creating an emotional roller coaster. For example, sometimes be extremely attentive, show up, text her, and engage in deep, meaningful conversations. But then, when she gets used to that, pull back and give her some space. Let her experience your absence and make her wonder why you're not as available. Unpredictability should also extend beyond just your availability. Be spontaneous with your plans. Don't always text her at the same time every day or ask her out in the same way. Keep her guessing about when you'll surprise her with something new. Maybe one time, take her to a cozy cafe, and the next, surprise her with an impromptu adventure. This variation keeps things fresh and exciting. When you're unpredictable, you create an emotional reaction. She can't help but wonder about you, your next move, your next message, your next decision. This mystery sparks an emotional investment she can't easily shake. The more emotionally invested she is, the more likely she'll miss you when you're not around. But here's the secret. Don't overdo it. The key to unpredictability is balance. Too much unpredictability and she might feel like she can't rely on you. Too little and she'll get bored. The goal is to keep her intrigued, wanting more, and feeling like she can't always predict what you'll do next. When you get it right, you'll leave her missing the excitement you bring to her life. Number 9. If you're always available to her, you risk making her take you for granted. Many men think that by constantly being there for her, answering texts immediately, dropping everything when she calls, or showing up whenever she needs them, they'll earn her appreciation. However, this approach often backfires, making you seem desperate and needy, not desirable. Women respect men who have their own lives outside the relationship and can stand on their own without relying on her for validation. If you're always at her disposal, you send the message that you don't have anything better to do, which is unattractive. It also makes you predictable and easily accessible. Two qualities that kill the excitement and mystery in a relationship. Instead of being constantly available, you should value your own time. When you stop immediately responding to her texts or rushing to answer her calls, you show her that your attention is valuable. This creates space and makes her realize that you're not just sitting around waiting for her to reach out. You have a life outside of her, and that makes you more intriguing and attractive. Start prioritizing your own goals, passions, and friendships. When she sees that you're not always available, she'll begin to appreciate your presence more. She'll start to crave your attention and miss the moments when you're not around. The more you make your time a privilege, not a guarantee, the more she'll want to be around you. Number 10. Here's the most powerful piece of advice. Let her come to you. For too long, you've been chasing, pursuing, and doing everything you can to keep her attention. But if you want her to miss you, it's time to flip the script. Stop being the one to initiate contact all the time. Let her take the lead. When you stop chasing, you become more desirable. Men often think that by constantly reaching out, planning dates, and keeping the conversation going, they're keeping her interested. But in reality, you're making it too easy for her. Women want to feel like they have to put in some effort to chase you. If you're always there, always texting first, always making the effort, the excitement fades. So stop texting first. Don't always be the one to call or plan everything. Let her reach out when she feels like it. This doesn't mean you should completely disappear, but create space for her to initiate the connection. When you do this, you'll make her miss you. Here's why this works. It shifts the power dynamic. When she starts reaching out to you, it signals that she's the one investing. You become the prize, not her. Women are attracted to men who make them work a little. It makes her value you more because she knows your time is precious, and you're not desperate for her attention. When you let her come to you, she'll realize that you're not trying to win her over at any cost. You're confident, grounded, and know your worth. That's what makes her miss you. The fact that she has to make the effort, and she starts to wonder why you're not always available. By letting her come to you, you'll make her emotionally invested. When she reaches out, she'll be more likely to pursue something deeper and more meaningful with you. Stop running after her and start letting her chase you. You'll notice a huge difference in how she treats you, and when she starts missing you, you'll understand that all the time you spent chasing was wasted. So take these tips to heart. Be unpredictable, be busy, keep some mystery, and most importantly, stop chasing her. Let her come to you and watch how much more she values your presence. Now is the time for a shift. Take action, commit to letting go of limiting habits, and strive to become the best version of yourself, no matter the obstacles you face. If today's conversation resonated with you, I invite you to show your appreciation by liking this video, joining our community by subscribing, and sharing your insights in the comments. Let's continue nurturing this dialogue, cultivating a community committed to self-reflection and growth. Thank you for being part of this journey. Until next time, stay present, stay resilient, and embrace the Stoic mindset.